back in 2007, 2008, I had this incredible opportunity to teach Hill Tribe students in Southeast Asia from Thailand and Myanmar. And we traveled with our kids that were in 2nd, 4th, and 6th grade. The K12.com curriculum was offered free from our school site, and so according to their attendance and grade records, it's as if our kids never even left the district. Overall, I thought the curriculum was more thorough and rigorous than the regular classes. The K-12 program is really well designed, it's easy to navigate, and has one web page that will take you to all their enrolled classes. The learning management system lets you see their progress at a glance. It has an easy tracking system so you can see how many lessons they mastered, the percentage of assignments left, their cumulative scores, and their missed assignments. Another thing I really like about the program is that it uses mastery learning. In order to get credit for an assignment or a lesson, my kids had to score at least 80%. And if not, they could go back and they could review and retake the lessons. So they were accountable for all the material in the course. Another advantage of the K-12 program was that my kids were able to take world history, which wasn't available at the local school, and they were able to do and perform experiments in science. One thing I have to say about the K-12 program is that not all the courses are equal. If you go through one course and you think, wow, that was really an amazing course, your next course might be an entirely different experience. For example, my 2nd and 4th graders took history and science, and it was so good and so engaging that all 3 of my kids decided or chose to take the class in addition to their required curriculum. Unfortunately, my 6th grader at that time, in her history class, she had to read 3 to 4 textbooks and then answer questions. So her course was not very exciting, it was not very engaging. So our experience with the K-12 program is that depending on the grade level and the subject matter, the courses can be very different. Here's what I liked about the K-12 program, is that the way it's organized and its learning management system. Overall, I'd have to say that the lessons were very well designed, except for the language arts program, which was put together piecemeal. It had captivating and great digital stories, online games and activities. There was a nice mix of online activities with real textbooks and workbooks that had fun activities. Not just the typical fill in the blank, but things that they cut out, things that they created and made. The workbooks often required them to do things outside of just writing in a workbook. Also, the reading portion required real books, real novels, which was very interesting to our kids. Of course, these had to be purchased outside of the class. Now that I think about it, the history program as well had some required books. And hands-on lessons with resources. Give you a little background about that. When we signed up for the program, we had no idea what the K-12 program was all about, and we started getting shipments from the company, and we had these huge boxes come to our house, and the kids were so excited because inside these boxes were real math manipulatives, scales, microscopes and slides, graduated cylinders, rock collections, all sorts of manipulatives and things to do hands-on activities with. Now I want to talk a little bit about the pros and cons. I've already talked about the mastery-based learning. This is traditional classroom. I put down as a con too much content. And when we first started the program, there was way too much material to do, and it was taking us well over 8 hours to finish a day's worth of lessons. So we discovered that after a few weeks of doing this, that we weren't supposed to cover every activity associated with a lesson, and that you had to do a little picking and choosing. So along with that, though, on the positive side, there was a remedial and enrichment material. So if there was a particular lesson your kids were really interested in, you could spend more time with it. I put down as a pro paper and pencil tests. The K-12 program, at least at the time we had it, had both paper and pencil and online tests. And there was a mixture of both, and it depended on what course and what grade level you were at. If you had all online tests or all paper pencil tests, or a mixture of both. But I put this as a pro paper and pencil because we discovered that when our elementary kids were taking online tests, they often did not work out the problems. They were more apt to just choose something, one of the answers randomly. So I put that as a pro, and I put the online as a con because the time that we took it, computers kept crashing, and there were times that my kids had to take a test four times, and we started writing down all of the answers so that when the computer crashed, I would go in and fill in all the answers online to where my kid had left off, and he would start from there. So another disadvantage of the online test was before I could manually put in the answers, and there were times that my kids would already know the material, didn't need to go through the lesson, and I was able to just put a pass. And when things started going more online, you were required to take the end of the lesson exam or quiz or test to get through it. And some of the online programs made you actually go through the whole lesson online, whether you knew it or not. So some pros and cons there. Working at your own pace, definitely if you need more time, or we were on a lesson that really interested the kids, my own kids, we could spend more time on it. Ability to skip lessons that my kids already learned. And as I already said, some of the online lessons were becoming too lengthy. So, and that became especially time consuming when my kids already knew the material. More pros were definitely travel flexibility. They provided field trips to the local kids. We weren't, for the most part, able to take advantage of that because we were traveling overseas. Time with kids were a definite bonus. Big con, especially traveling overseas, was we weren't able to connect often to a high-speed connection so that we could access the lessons. And even though many of the lessons had textbooks and workbooks with them, much of the content was often online, and another difficulty we had was they all required you to input your grades or take an online test. So that was a limiting factor. Lack of face-to-face interaction for my kids. Definite drawback when they came back to the States. My middle child is very, very social, and my oldest child at the time was very introverted and really needed the face-to-face interactions. So trying to find opportunities for them when we got back to the state to do that until they were put back, or until they joined the charter school next year, the following year. It was a bit of a problem. And the amount of time it took just to cover the material and also to input was definite drawback. So those are a list of my pros and cons, and that's it.